Almost 400 hours mastering the builder and multiple builds, sending them to league players, pro players, top players, and giving them the rundown on a lot of stuff. We did make a bunch of guides on the channel as well. I've been very careful with the builds I share when it comes to the professional side. And I've also been trying to give you guys fun builds where you can just get out there and ball out and have a good time. And today we got an amazing build that can pretty much destroy people big time. It's a defensive monster while still being an offensive juggernaut in its own right. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rundown on this build. If you watch my channel, we created a power forward / lockdown build for top level players, and that one was great. So we used that as a template, and we're going to present to you the official build, what you need to do to make it. Before I give you the whole rundown at the end of the video where you can just kind of copy and paste, I'm going to show you the build right away. And let's get into the breakdown. You're watching highlights of the first like 20 games I've played on this build. And I just tested it on the ones to see if it can hold its own, because it can dribble. It shouldn't be dribbling, but it can. So we've been moving on this thing, having a good time with it, but we just made it. It's brand new. Okay. And just to kind of showcase how new it is, I'm literally here with this startup kit of a build. As you can see, I'm only brown right now. My performance level went from black to brown on the plate. All right, it's a brand new build. We just made it. It still doesn't even have all its badges. It's gonna have legend paint patroller, legend challenger, legend on ball menace, and legend high flyer denier. All right, and more. Those are just some of the legend badges that you'll be getting. You could even put legend pick dodger. So depending on what you want to do with this build, it's a very good hybrid of different things. But I did ruin the normal version, which was supposed to be for elite play as a lockdown / power forward build, and turned it into a point guard somewhat. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And remember, still haven't used cap breakers, so I wanted to show you this side before you go and make it. As you can see, it's 6'9". I know that sounds crazy from the video you watched, but this is why. Because I put some dribbles and I put some contact dunks on it so it can be unstoppable with the cap breakers. I wanted to master the cap breaker system, which I did for this build, and we basically got the best type of ISO 6'9" that you could get in the game. And we're going to talk about why and break it all the way down. Right? So when you make a small forward, it's the only position you can make this on, and you make it 6'9" with 186 weight plus a 7'3" wingspan. It lets you get interior defense on 89, and it lets you get a 99 block. The 99 block and the interior makes it so you got perimeter paint patroller and high flyer denier on legend automatically. Right, this is just amazing. Then you have a 92 perimeter defense to give you gold on ball and gold challenger. And you're going to use your max plus 1s and 2s to buff those up and be able to have legend on them. Now you'll say this build isn't true lockdown, and it isn't. It isn't. It is a hybrid. The original build had 85 feel, but I dropped this down in order to get dribbles and contact dunks. Okay, very, very particular, and I'll showcase that in a minute. But that's the only thing that I sacrificed from the original version, and I tweaked to make sure that I can ISO people and then contact dunk on them all game long. And if you watch the highlights in the beginning, you know that it's definitely doable. It's not like I'm some masterful top player who can dribble, shoot, or dunk, but this build allows me use the best of what I could do take it to the next level. So that's that. Secondly, if you look carefully, I'm going to go into the cap breakers. We got a 99 block on this build, which is going to destroy. And the reason I know this is because pro players have been using this build and going insane with it without the dribbles and dunks, but just with the defense. They've been getting crazy blocks from the 3-point line to the paint and so much more. It's extremely powerful. Okay. I had to sacrifice a little bit of rebound and steal just to get these dribbles and these contact dunks. Okay. But I want to kind of talk about the shooting with an 80. You saw what I was doing in the clips. I was destroying people very easily. Then you also have a 65 pass, which is enough for this type of build. If you're playing 2s, 3s, even 5s, this is more than enough. Okay. And then for free throws, all I got to use is some cap breakers, which I'll showcase that and talk about that in a minute. You have 45 or higher to get the the standing dunks, and you're good to go. All of this is good. Now, the 73, you might question, how are you going to get steals with that? Well, I can max +2 gold, glove, and more if I really wanted to. I'm sorry, interceptor is the only thing you really need. I have it on silver. With a max +2, I can turn this all the way up to Hall of Fame. And that's how this build becomes a GOAT, even with the low 3. Now, most people are going to say, why did you make this build with low rebounds or steals? Well, like I said, with the steals, all I need is interceptor, because you can still get a lot of plucks with a number like this. I have a build like this and I get a lot of plucks. In a rec, I'm getting 3 or more plucks a game with my other builds that have this. The 70 rebound, here's the thing. You're giving up a lot when you do that. You can't be a true power forward. But with silver box out beast, if I was going to play like a center for the 2s or the 3s, all I got to do is use a max +2 and switch it out for this. Depending on what your role is, you can max +1 or 2 different things. If I'm not going to be the center, I won't max +2 this. But if I did, I'll put this on Hall of Fame. And that's more than enough to box out other centers in the position. But most of the time, you're playing the power forward or the small forward, and your job is to just help out with the rebound. So it is not the most necessary thing. So those are the questions that people might have and wonder, how does this perform on that aspect? And if you look at the rest, the speed and the agility is more than enough to play the pick and roll with all of the height that you have. You don't have to play somebody tight. You can block, contest very well because you have a high challenger. There's no other builds out there that has a 92 perimeter and the 99 block. This is the only kind of build with this exact attribute setup that you can get that, which means you're going to be able to contest this is the best contesting build in the game, pretty much. There's nothing else. If you go higher, taller, or shorter, you're in trouble. And so you're fine. Strength is low, but again, most of the time for rebounds, box out beast on Hall of Fame is more than enough to get a board if necessary. So 71 is good to go. Then the vertical is for blocks, for my contact dunks, or contest, and you're good on that. Again, an 89 driving dunk, I can turn this up if I get extra cap breakers because there's 28 of them this year. I can put up these 4. I did this very specific for 93 to get my posterizer on gold. And if I wanted to be a contact dunker, all I have to do is max +1 or 2 it, and it's going to be even higher than gold, Hall of Fame, or even legend if I wanted. That's how that build, survives and plays so strongly, as you see. And I want to show you my cap breakers for the moment, just for fun. Okay, I'm using this for now, but my challenger, my high flyer denier are all naturally going to be on legend, and I can basically have other things in here for offense or defense. And that's, like I told you guys, if I wanted to max +2, for example, box out to get higher rebounds, to box out the center while my center gets the board or something, it's doable. But then I say, hey, you know what? No, I'm gonna play threes. I want to be, the small forward. Let me go put something else on. And as you see, this is an ISO version for today and for the moment. So I put these on right now. And remember, I don't have everything maxed out. I'm still grinding to max these out. I need to get unpluckable. Do I have unpluckable yet? Unpluckable maxed out and get the build locked in for the year once I do. These are the kind of things you got to think about. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do something to make this a point guard. You see right here, now I have Hall of Fame Lightning Launch. Okay. You're looking at Hall of Fame Lightning Launch on a 6'9" ISO build. And so if somebody is watching this video and they skip through, here's the thing. You're missing out on an amazing build and you're selling yourself short. Is the best I could say. If you want to watch the highlights, and this is literally me after making the build, my first 20 games, I took a couple of clips as I played. I made some clips. You're seeing me cross people up. You're seeing me break ankles. You're seeing me do fadeaway threes. You're seeing me do hop jumper 3-pointers. You're watching me contact dunk everybody, shooting threes in people's faces. I mean, questioning can this build perform is not a good idea. And if somebody comes into the comments, hopefully they do because it's going to be hilarious. They come into the comments, skip through the video and didn't get to see the highlights or see why the build was made the way it was. I took a lot of time. I got hundreds of hours in the game already. Like I always do at the beginning of the year. A lot of time. Like, look at these blocks. Look at my plays on. Look at these saucing. I can do everything. And that's why the build is amazing. And there's some plucks, and I do get plucks in here. And I just taunted that guy and tricked him. Sometimes it's mind games, guys. Like, look, hit him with the hop jumper, hooking. And so, again, I'm not here to sell you this build because I made it for me. And I also made it for me and my cousin because he made the original version, which is the professional version, to play in elite play. And look at these moves I'm doing on these guys. I'm saucing everybody. Look, behind the back, go. But the point is for my cousin made the elite professional pro-am version for 5-on-5, and it could perform in 2s and 3s as well. But this one is like, I'm going to be the point guard. It's the same twin build as that, but I turned it into an ISO build. All right. And it's toxic. I lost my a little bit of rebound and a little bit of my steal. So it's not a true lockdown back end, but it's still amazingly strong. And, you're going to watch on the next video, which I'm going to have on the channel after I play with my cousin who has the same type of build. I'll be the one ISOing and he'll be the one using the professional version, which is going to be the center for me. So he'll get the rebounds. I'll be breaking the ankles and it'll have a good time. So make sure you check that out. It should be popping up on the channel at some point. I'll have it uploaded. It's going to be at the end of this video right here. All right. Hope this video was helpful. I didn't go into the builder, but you can just look at the attributes and figure it out yourself, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed, man. I'm going to see y'all on that next one.